Alright guys, so this is the upgrade video that I'm doing for this guy. Alright, so there's a couple different things here that I want to go over before I do anything at all. A few things really upset me, pissed me off with this model. This is one. This is a 5-wire servo. I don't know if you can see that. Try to get it on the screen there. Nobody uses these, man. I mean, robotics and stuff like that, that's great. But it's got a specific potentiometer or whatever in here that if you can buy splitters, is what I'm trying to get at here. So you can buy a 5-wire to 3-wire, I think they call it a Y splitter or something. I've seen these all over the place on like AliExpress and Banggood and stuff like that. You can even find them on Amazon, but I think they're called something else. And you can make them work. And as far as strength and stuff goes for this guy here, maybe it's enough. I don't know. I'm changing it out because I am, in my head, I'm required to change it out because this right here is really causing me a headache. I hate the really high whine pitch sound thing when a crawler is trying to crawl, and it's really weird because I have a ton of gas and nitro stuff over there that I love the sound of and smell of and everything. It shouldn't sit there like it's trying to take off. That's a problem. And I think that the gears are too high in here. Now the problem is I've taken this apart and I didn't put it on film because it was pointless. Sometimes when you take apart a transmission, they got a couple gears in there you can swap around. And they don't really tell you that because it's probably not something they want you to do or whatever. There's not really anything in there that you can do it. Everything has its own specific place to sit. You could probably buy a different gear set, maybe eventually. I don't think there's anything available right now, but that's something that is going to be later on down the line, I do believe. Now, having said all that, am I really pissed off at this truck? No, not really. I mean, it's 80 bucks. I still think you get a lot of value there. And for what I wanted to do for 80 bucks, that's pretty good. Now, I am also going to get the SCX30 at some point. So, you know, I'm going to have a little fleet of these. This has basically friction shocks. Now, the shocks alone don't really do a whole lot for you until you put in a little bit of grease. You put in a little bit of grease and it kind of gives you a little bit of a damper. So I can't hate on that too much, you know. Plus I've got shocks to go on it anyway. The tires, I have no idea if they're good, bad, whatever. I can't really test them because that noise with the motor and the way that it doesn't crawl is super annoying to me. I can't get past that right now. So I've got to put in something that I know is going to work and kind of go from there. I could have put in a different system, sure. I've got a bunch of them laying around, sure. But this one here, I had a little bit of a credit anyway, so I went ahead and bought this. It's the Micromoto 2025 brushless power system. It's got the Micro Python and the Micromoto. It's supposed to be for the Red Cat Ascent 18. We're going to try to put it in the Ascent 32. If it doesn't work, I have a couple other systems to try. So we're going to kind of go over each one as I run into problems. So there's so much stuff that I want to do to this thing here. So we might take it in parts. And obviously I'm not going to show all this on camera either. Like, for example, putting the ball ends and the links. If you guys don't know how to do that, I'm not doing a video on that. It's an aggravating process. What you basically do is take these little rubber O-rings, you fit them on the whatever those things are called, those little collars or whatever. You put it on one side, then you put it through the hole here on one of these guys, and then the other side you put another washer on. That's what holds it on there. Those little ball ends. It's an aggravating process. It takes a while. Sometimes I got to step away when I'm doing it because I got big mutton hands. I like doing this kind of stuff, but little things like that kind of annoy me sometimes. This is just covers. I mean, you've seen that before on other stuff that I've done. Shocks, you know, you've seen me replace shocks before. Servo. This particular servo, you can see it right there, it has a screw on each side. Now, the only thing different about this is when you fit your servo in here, so it slides in this way, but it also has a little recess there at the very beginning where it sits the lip down of that servo in the tray. So you gotta be real careful about what you use, because there's a lot of servos that will not work that are 2-gram servos. So I do have a ton of Emax servos, and they would work too, but they're analog. I wanted a digital one. I don't think I got center drive shafts for this. I did not. So I don't see any here. There's other upgrades that you can buy for this that I haven't got. I don't know that I'm going to be putting everything on. This is what I'm starting with. I'm putting on shocks. I am putting on the FuriTech Micromoto. We're going to try to anyway. We'll do covers. I will probably, since I already have it apart, I'll probably go ahead and do the plate. And I originally was going to save these for another video. Now, the one thing that I didn't mention is what type of radio I'm going to be using. Now, this is my Our-Star, however you say it. Just a little, it's a cheaper radio, I know, but it's a very good radio for crawling. It fits really good in my hands. I have a thumb steer attachment on it. Alright, so a couple things to note here on the Red Cat Ascent 32. This is the internals of the transmission. Let me get another light on here where you can see a little bit better. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe. So there's your pinion gear, and you got 2 motor screws in there. This is the other side of the transmission. I was looking to see, and they're all plastic gears. I was looking to see if there's possibly a gear you could swap around for maybe to kind of increase the low level torque or something, you know, get a little better crawl at it or whatever. I don't think that's possible with these. The gears that they're using are pretty specific. There's 2 that look very similar, but they're not as far as the way that their body interfaces with the shaft. The good thing is there is sealed bearings throughout. That's good on both sides. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. It's fully greased. Looks like it has like a lithium type grease in there, which is great for this type of setup. Should work just fine. I'm not real happy with some of the hardware that they're using on here, and let me show you kind of what I'm talking about here. Got to be real easy with this guy too, because when you go tearing into it, some of these screws are not the greatest quality. It's not like working on the Ascent 18. The Ascent 18 and the big Ascent is a lot better quality. That's your screw. Hopefully you can see that. So that's your screw. And I don't care that they have the flat hardware on the top. You can see how flat it is. It's just the quality of the screw itself is what I particularly have the problem with. They tend to break very easy. They tend to round very easy. So first chance I get, which I don't have any now, I'm going to be replacing these. That's your old motor. You know, it's like a 370 or whatever size can, whatever that is. Um, the other side there. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the setup here. It's just, you know, it's tiny, and I understand you have to use the tiny screws, but I mean, I don't know. The type of hardware that they're using is made out of some really bad metal because it likes to strip out very, very easily. So keep that in mind when you're doing all this as well. So I just want to pop in and kind of show you that, and we're going to get on with the build here. All right, so we're just going to do this on a table here. I got it hooked up to my Alstar, however you say that, transmitter. I like using this for crawling because the knobs and stuff are really easy. It's big, fits my hand really well. Plus I got my one-handed steering on there. We'll go over what I got on the truck here in just a minute, but check this out. Look at the slow crawl here. And you don't hear anything either. So we're just going to kind of crawl over this stuff here and show you what you can do. Now if I didn't come off the battery here, let's come up on it a little bit better than that. There we go. Now you'll notice it does a little bit of jitter and stuff there. I'm going to go through the app here in just a minute and kind of show you why it's doing that. I haven't said anything or any of that jazz here. But yeah, let's show you what I got in the truck now. So we'll set this to the side and we'll start at the bottom here. Let me loosen the body here on the top. You'll notice I have the Endura covers. All right, so I ended up going with this setup here. I put the tray back in and I stuffed everything right there. It balances the weight out a lot better and lower. I still have a little bit too much weight, let's see, on this side and this side. It's kind of weird. I got my Endura links installed on here. I did put the Endura hubs in the front. Okay, so I got my digital scales out here. You'll notice that they're all reading 0. So we're just going to place it on here. We'll see what our weight is. It tried to make it as center as I can, but it, you know, whatever. I'm not too crazy about that. So we got 0.51 ounces over here, and then we got 1.9. So we got more weight on this side here. Over here, we got 2.5 something, and then 1.062. So we got a little bit more weight on the front right and then the left rear. So let's turn it around here and see if that changes anything. Kind of get it lined up in the middle again if I can. Give the scales time to kind of balance out. 1.03 and 2.6, again the same side, and 1.9 and 0.5. So again the same side. This side here and this side here has more weight on it for whatever reason. So the reason I chose the GAC Racing was because, for one, it was really cheap. I actually already had the thing. I think I paid like $15, $16 plus shipping. I bought this a while back from, I don't even know, maybe AliExpress. It might have been Amazon. I really don't know. eBay. I buy stuff pretty much everywhere. Temu. So I really don't know where I got it at. I've had it for a little bit of time. I was going to put it in something else, something I was building, but I kind of just stopped on the build. I didn't really like the way it was going, so I just kind of, I don't even think I made a video on it. It was going to be a micro, but it wasn't going to be this small, and it just wasn't really turning out the way I wanted it to. I was doing a lot of 3D printing and stuff for it, and the geometry was wrong. And okay, so GAC Racing. And you'll notice I have a whole bunch of different things pop up, like my dryer, my TV, and all that stuff. So we're going to select the one that says GAC Crack. That's just what I named it. So we'll select that. to work. Okay, so we are connected. I'm sorry, I was clicking the wrong area. So we selected our GAC crack, and then we're going to go into parameter settings. Now, in the parameter settings, you'll see version number 61 out of 63. I think there's a firmware update. I just haven't done it yet. I got BEC voltage set to 6 volts, rotation direction counterclockwise, and I got the mode set at forward reverse, which is the crawler mode. Voltage cutoff is set at 3, and you can go as high as 3.5 or whatever. ESC temperature, we got it set down to 70. We can actually crank that up just a little bit, so let's take it up to like 100. That'd be fine. That's the temperature limit. So if you get like in a bind or whatever, excuse me, you obviously don't want that going too high. Now the constant speed mode, which is the FOC, it can go all the way up to 10. It's currently set at 6. We're going to take it up to 10. For some reason, that's just what it was set at. Starting range is set up to 25%. That's probably a little bit much, so let's take it down to like, I don't know, 15%. We're just trying stuff here, guys. Torque compensation mode is set up at 150. That's a startup power. So let's take that down just a little bit too. Let's take it to 110. Stop braking level, 10. Okay, that's fine. That's probably like a drag brake setting type of thing. Throttle settings, neutral position. We're going to leave that alone. I don't really know what to set that at yet. Deadband threshold, again, leaving it alone. It's set right in the middle. And then when we're done, you just hit save parameters, and how it says modified successfully. Yeah, man. See, I'm sure there's other settings that I could mess with in there, like the throttle and stuff like that, but I don't know enough about them, so I didn't want to go too crazy trying to change stuff that I don't know. That works for me for right now. It does have a little bit of jitter, but I can definitely deal with that.